listen to this concept little carefully because what I'll do is before I explain it here in the file, before we see the output, I will use directly Python IDLE. So Python IDLE to explain this. Okay. In data science and data analytics, we use two libraries. One is NumPy, and we load it into a variable name called NP or namespace called NP. There is another library called pandas. So yesterday I have used both. Okay. So, and I was actually trying to create data with three columns and 20 rows, 3 columns and 20 rows. That's what we were trying to create. Okay. So there is a function in the NumPy. In the NumPy, there is a function, there is a module called random. In that module, there is a function called randn, which stands for random numbers. So we want to generate 20 by 3 random numbers. That means 20 rows and 3 columns of random numbers. So you can see here. So 3 columns, 1 to 3, 1 to 3, second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row, sixth row, seventh row. Okay, we have used this. So we want to name the first column as A, second column as B, third column as C. Then we want to draw a line for each column. Okay, look at these values. They are very small values. These values are between 0 and 1. Okay, so we use this function. So that's what we were trying to do yesterday. Okay, let me switch back to our code and let's try to understand it. So yesterday we took a data frame. Okay, so pandas, I told you what is a pandas. It will create 1 dimension or 2 dimension data. We use pandas data frame function. Okay, pandas data frame function. And using that, so pandas data frame class, using that from NumPy, I use random modules and I want to generate random numbers in 20 rows and 3 columns. Okay, and I want to give column names as these are the column names A, B, and C. These are the column names. I want to give this column name. So look at this. We have 3 columns of data. Column A, this is column A, this is column B, this is column C. Column A, column B, column C. So we'll draw a line for column A values, a line for column B values, and line for column C values. That's what I was trying to tell yesterday. Okay, so it's very simple. And these libraries are part of data science, AI. They are very important part of data science and AI. This pandas library and NumPy library, these are part of data science and AI. So keep these two libraries in your mind. Okay, let's go back to our session. So yesterday, using data frame, we wanted to create data with 20 rows and 3 columns. And we wanted to name those columns as ABC. ABC. Okay, we want to name those columns as ABC. And we assigned it to a chart variable called data. So this data variable refers 3 columns A, B, C. In the column A, there are 20 values. In the column B, there are 20 values. In the column C, there are 20 values. And we use a function called line chart function. Using this function, we will show this data on the chart. So now we have this code. How do I run this code? That is the question. Okay, so we did that yesterday. So those are still not able to do that, go to run dialog box, type CMD. Okay, or click on start menu and type command prompt. You will see this. Okay, so go to the drive where our drive and directory where our file is there. And here you type Streamlit, run, and app.py. So this is the file name. So let me run this file. It has a lot of code because since yesterday we wrote a lot of code. So it is going to open the browser and it is going to put all those elements in the file. So it opened the browser. Okay, you can see it's going to put all those elements that we inserted yesterday. The last element is chart with 3 lines. 3 lines. For A, this is the line, the dark blue. For B, light blue. For C, red color line. Okay, you can see all those lines. Right, this is the line chart. Now, this time we are going to do something simple activity. After the charting, that means after placing the chart, I'm going to do a simple activity. So what we do is, we will create a checkbox. When you tick the checkbox, it will show the data. When you don't tick that checkbox, it will not show the data. Checkbox. So I'm going to create checkbox. Okay, let's see that. So st is the name of the library, which we have imported. In this code, we have imported 3 libraries so far, and 3 libraries. So these are all data science libraries or AI libraries. So they are very, very essential. Keep that in mind. They are very, very essential. So now we want to create a checkbox. That means, okay, a tick box. Mute yourself. Everybody should mute yourself. Okay, checkbox. Right. Now this checkbox will print show text on the screen. So I'll just save this file. It is asking me to always rerun. I'll just click on this button. So whenever I, make changes and save it, it is going to run it. So you can see the checkbox here. It says show text. Show text. Now what happens exactly is, whenever you tick the checkbox, it returns true. Whenever you untick the checkbox, it will return false. Tick the checkbox or check the checkbox, it returns true. Uncheck the checkbox, it will return false. So assign it to a variable. Okay. So assign it to a variable called show text. Now this show text variable is going to store true or false. When you check it, it stores value true. When you uncheck it, it stores the value false. So if that is true, if the show text variable contains true, then write something like this. Here is the hidden text and it is revealed by the checkbox. It is revealed by the checkbox. Okay, this is the hidden thing. I'll save this and I check it. It will show the text. I will uncheck it. The text will disappear. So you can create checkboxes like this. So we are trying to look at everything. So checkbox is a function that will create a checkbox. Now, most of you know how to install softwares, right? So when you install softwares, it will show a progress bar. Okay, it will slowly increase that progress bar. Installation 5% complete, 18% complete, 55% complete. So you will see that progress bar. So we want to create something like that. Okay, so we want to create a slider and progress bar. Okay, how many of you want this code, all the code that I'm typing? If you are interested about this code, then what we'll do is, I will share with you this code, in the easiest way. I'll also share with you updates. So now what we are going to do is, we want to create a slider that will progress. Okay, a slider that will progress. Okay, so let's do that. So for this, I am going to import a module called time. There is a built-in module in Python called time. So using this time module, you can calculate the time. You can calculate the time. Okay. So this time we are going to create a slider. So I import this. So we are going to have a slider. Okay. So you want to see slider. So let's see slider. I showed you in the first class. Okay. So let's see the slider. Set the progress. Set the progress. On the slider, the initial value is 0. The minimum value is 0. The left side value is 0. The right side value is 100. So this is the slider. So the left side value is 0. Right side value is 100. So let me save it. So it will show the slider. You can see 0 to 100. You can move between 0, 100. Okay. You can move between 0 and 100. This is the slider. Okay. Right. Let's keep that aside. Now we have a slider. And what we want to do is this slider will give values between 0 and 100. Okay. We'll assign it to a variable called slider value. We'll assign it to a variable called slider value. Okay. Now, after assigning it to this variable, okay. So what we do is we'll use another function called progress. Okay. I'll discuss that function. So function is progress. Now this function will take a value and it will start increasing that value continuously. The function name is progress. Okay. So, right, you want to practice it daily, Sumaya. Okay, I will share with you. So, right, now I will use that function progress. So I want to start from 0. So on the scale, there is 0. It will go up to 100. So I want to start a progress bar from 0. Okay, and I will assign this to a variable called progress. Okay, we have this progress. Now, what we'll do is we'll take the slider value. Can be 10, 20, or anything. Any value that you select here. Now it is 30. The slider value is 30. Okay, any value. So what your bar does is using a for loop, it will start from 0 from this progress value till if you select 30, the progress bar will go up to 30. So let's use the for loop. We have already discussed the for loop. For I in range, slow slider value. We know that stop value is is always 1 less. Okay, so just add +1 to it. Okay, now progress. So it should progress 1 by 1. Okay, as the I value changes, the progress bar will also change. And also we use sleep. That means you don't want to see the progress immediately. You want to see the progress for every 1/10 of the second. So let's see, you see, it will go up to 30. So if you put here 85, it will go up to 85. You see the progress bar? If you make it 0, the progress bar will travel only up to 0. If you make it 55, it will go up to 55. You can increase the time also. It will move slowly. So it will move slowly. So if you move it here, it will move slowly. Yeah, somebody is writing. Yeah, that's good. So it is moving slowly. So you can also increase more time. You can see it moves much slower. So it is more slower. Okay. So that's how you can define the progress bar. Is it useful? Okay. Is it useful? It is very, very useful. Okay. It is very, very useful, especially you are creating applications. Okay. When you are creating application where you have to show the progress. Maybe your application may show some target. So we have two functions here, slider. That will create a slider with a minimum value, maximum value, and a default value. This is slider. Second thing is progress function. So you set its initial value 0, that is progress, and change the progress value as the I value changes. I value 1, change it to 1, 2, change it to 2. So each time you give a time gap. So now it will move slowly. So it moves slowly, 1/10 of the second. Okay, you can also make it 1 second. It will move much slower. You see, it is moving much slow. For every second, it is moving by one number. Okay, so you can create progress bars like that. So, uh, sir, shall I share matplotlib library code? You can share with me personally, okay, because it is everybody's time, not just my time and your time. So a lot of people, connected. Now, so this is a beautiful application, but I want a side pane here, side pane, a left side pane. I want a sidebar. It is called sidebar here. Can I have a sidebar? Okay. Your sidebar can have a title. Okay. Sidebar will have a lot of other options. Can I have a sidebar? Okay. Let's have a sidebar. So I'm going to create a sidebar. Let's say sidebar. So sidebar. In the sidebar, we'll have a select box, that is drop down box. So we'll use choose an option. Okay. It is going to create a sidebar. Okay. It is going to display the text, choose an option, and we are going to display three options. Option one, option two, option three. Okay. It will display three options. So you can see sidebar. I'll save this file. The moment I save it, so it is going to show the sidebar. So I'll decrease this time actually. It is 0.01 is better because it is taking a lot of time. Okay, right. Now what we'll do is we want to see that sidebar with select box. Okay, so you can see the sidebar, right? This button, sidebar with select box. This is the select box. Select box text is choose an option. So choose an option is the text. Okay, for the select box. Okay, right. And this has select box has three options: option one, option two, option. See, you can see option one, option two, option three. Three options. They are a list actually. They are given as a list. Collection of options. Option one, option two, option three. Okay, right. So we'll set it to a variable. We'll assign it to a variable. We don't need to assign, but we'll assign it to a variable. We'll call it as sidebar option. Okay, this variable will get whatever option you choose. If you choose option one, this variable will store the text option one. If you select option two, this variable will store option. If you select option three, this variable store option three. So here in the end, we'll write you selected option one or option two or option three. Right. As I told you, write function is very, very versatile. You selected. Okay. So sidebar option. You selected sidebar option. So now you look at this. What option is selected? You selected option. We selected option one. But this time I want to select option three. Now you see it shows you selected option three. Okay. And then you can select option two. It shows you selected option two. So that's how we can use sidebar. Okay, very, very important function. So you use sidebar function to create a sidebar. Okay, and this function, actually this is a class. This class has a method called select box. Okay, and in the sidebar, you can put a select box. Select box is nothing but a drop down. You can select the options from the select box. Any option of your choice, you can select. Okay, so whatever option you select, it will be displayed in the, at the end of the page. Okay, right. So I will make this little by little complex. Okay, now whatever I did so far, I'm going to delete this code. Don't worry, all the code that you want to use, I will share a link. Okay, is available on that link. Okay, what all we have discussed, it is available on my link. I'll share the link at the end of the class. Your job is to remind me about that link. If you don't remind me, I will forget. Okay. So far we have written so much of code. So it is pretty much cluttered. So I'll delete all this code. Okay. All this code. Right. All this code. Right. All this code is deleted. Right. So now I'm going to write a small title here. I'll call this title as multi-page app. So we are going to create a multi-page app. So you can see title, a web page just with single title. Okay, right. So we are going to have a sidebar here now, just like earlier we had a sidebar. Okay, but that sidebar will have three options: home, about, and contact. Three options. You choose home, it will display a different content. You choose about, it will display different content. You choose you know contact, it will display different content. So let's do that. So I'm going to create a sidebar. So sidebar. Okay, in the sidebar we want to use select box. So drop down box, choose a page. Choose a page. Okay, what are the pages? We have a home page. Okay, about page, and we will have contact page. We'll have contact page. So we'll assign it to a variable called page because we want to do some operation on it. We will assign it to a variable called page. So let me save this. Do you see? We have a sidebar with select box. This is the select box. You see home, about, contact. These three are there. Okay. If the page is home, then what to do? If the page is, about, what to do? If the page is contact, what to do? So let's do that. If page equal to home. So if page is equal to home, then put a subheader function, welcome to the home page. Welcome to the home page. Let me use P capital here. Welcome to the home page. And we write, so this is the main content of the home page. Main content of the home page. Okay, this is home page. Okay, I'll just copy this and I paste it twice. So I'll make this elif. Okay, elif, else if. Okay, if this is about, then we'll have a subheading as about us. Okay, and we'll write to the page. This page contains information about our app. This page contains information about our app. Right. Then we have a contact. So contact us. So we have a heading called contact us. So contact us. Okay. Right. Here are the details to get into touch with us. Here are the details to get into touch with us. Okay, right. So now let me save this. I am done with the saving. So welcome to home page. This is the main page content. You see, I select about, you see the page changes, about us. Okay, I select contact, it changes. Do you see how easily we created multiple pages? It's multiple pages, guys. We just wrote code in one page, and we select the, it's just like a menu. You are selecting a menu, and it shows a different page when you select the from the menu. Isn't it amazing, guys? If it is HTML, you have to create lot many pages, isn't it? Isn't it? So we are just at the beginning now. Okay. So we are going to do a lot of things now. Sumaya, you are there. You are asking about Matplotlib library. So I'll do one thing for your sake. Okay. I'm just going to use one example of Matplotlib. Okay. I'll just use one example of Matplotlib. So I'll delete all this stuff here, code here. Now I'm going to import another data analytics, data visualization, data science library called Matplotlib. Okay. So actually there is a MATLAB tool is there. On top of MATLAB tool, okay, this is built. So MATLAB. So it is called Matplotlib. Okay. This library has a module called PyPlot. That means it has a module for Python plotting, Python graphing. So we import it as PLT because typing such a big name is difficult. We import it as PLT. Okay. Then import NumPy as NP. Okay. I already told you about this numerical Python. Now we have these three things. Okay. So we are going to have a title now. So the title is Matplotlib plot. So this is the title. So you can see a new title. So Matplotlib plot, that is the title. So what I'm going to do is, okay, using NumPy, just now I told you what NumPy can do. So using NumPy, so let me do it again for your sake, import NumPy as NP. So using NumPy, I will generate 100 values. I will generate, okay, using linspace, linearly spaced. Linspace is short for linearly spaced. Linearly spaced values between 0 and 10. Total 100 values. So it is going to generate 100 values which are equidistant from each other between 0 and 10. So you see, it generated 100 values. Starting value is 0. Then the last value is 10. So it generated 100 values from 0 to 10. And each value is at equidistance. 0, 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0 0.3, 0 0.4, so on and so forth. It generated 100 values. So this is the function. So we are going to use 100 values. On x-axis, we'll have these 100 values. And on y-axis, okay, we'll have sine of 0. Sine, we know sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, in our mathematics, trigonometry. Okay, we have studied it. So that we are going to use now. So we are going to take this 100 values. For each value, we are going to generate the sine value. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to do it here. So I'm going to create linearly spaced values, linspace 0 to 10. I want to generate between 0 and 10. I want to generate 100 values. Okay, I will assign all the 100 values to x. For each value of these 100 values, somebody wants the attendance. Okay, can somebody share the attendance link? Okay, for each of this value, I'll use sine and I create y. For every x value, I create y. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to use this matplotlib and I want to generate a chart. Okay, I want to generate a chart. So in a chart, actually, you can have lot of subcharts. In a chart, there can be lot of subcharts, which are called subplots. Okay, so actually, chart has two parts. Every chart has two parts. One is the chart, the figure. Second one is the axis. So figure and axis. So if you are using matplotlib, okay, from matplotlib, use a function called subplots. subplots. You can create n number of subplots here. You can create 2 by 2 plots, 2 by 3 plots, 4 by 5 plots. You can create n number of small charts, but I'm not creating any charts. I'll just create one chart. Okay, one chart. One is figure, another one is axis. Okay, for the axis, you have x-axis, y-axis. And for x-axis, you can have a title. For y-axis, you can have a title. For the chart, entire chart, you can have a title. And, figure is nothing but, the values that you plot. Okay, so let's do that. Very, very simple. So first, I'll create a plot for x values and y values. Okay, values and their sign values. And I'll set the title for the chart. The title for the chart is sine wave. You know sine wave. If you are from electronics background, you already know sine wave and you understand what I'm doing. And x-axis label or x-axis title is going to be x values, or you just type x-axis title as x-axis, and y label is y-axis. Okay, y-axis. Okay, that is y label. Okay, and then so what we are going to do is, all the axis changes that you make will be assigned to the figure. So we'll simply display the figure. So we use pyplot function and we display the figure. So it will take little time to understand plotting. Just, you can see the sine plot. X value 0 to X value 10. X value 0 to X value 10, you see the sine values. It's a sine wave. Okay. So look at the chart title, sine wave. We can see sine wave. What is the x-axis title? X-axis. What is the y-axis title? Y-axis. Okay. And what is the plot? X values and Y values are the plot. Okay. Right. This is very, very simple. In fact, it is amazing. And I'm not going to talk much about it. Okay. So how many of you want to become data scientist, data analyst, AI developer, or machine learning developer, deep learning developers? Any one of these things. How many of you want to become, data scientist or AI developer, ML developer, DL, deep learning developer, or data analyst? How many of you want to become? So if you want to become, you need to work with files. You need to work with specially CSV files. Then you need to work with JSON files. CSV file is the most commonly used file, which stands for comma separated values. We already saw those files in the yesterday's class. We saw those files, CSV files. Now there is another type of file called JSON file. JSON file, which is called JavaScript object notation. Okay, that file is also very, very famous. Okay, now we are going to create a small JSON file and we are going to display JSON data. We are going to display on the, web page. Okay, right. So what I do is, this time I will import a library called JSON. Okay, this is the library I want to import. And I will just have a title here. Title name is going to be display JSON data. Okay, JSON, JSON, JavaScript object notation. Okay, it is JavaScript object notation, JSON data. Okay, so I'm going to create a small sample JSON. If you know Python dictionary, it is similar to that. So you see, we open the brace and you have to take property. This is the property, and this property has a value called, so let's say Kiran Kumar. This is the value of this property, comma. We'll take another property, age property. Its value is 45. Okay, we take another property, email property. Its value is, okay, kiran.kumar@gmail.com. Okay, right. Then we'll take another property, hobbies, but hobbies can be more than one. Name is only one for every person. They have, yeah, key value page, just like in a dictionary, but it is little different and it is little, it can be little complex also. It can handle little complex data. Okay, right. So you have name, property and value, age, property and its value, email, property and its value. And now hobbies. Hobbies can be more than one. Name is one for every person, age is one, email is one, but hobbies can be, many. So use a list, reading, traveling, and you can say coding. So these are the three hobbies, and we'll end this JSON file. Okay, now we'll show this JSON file very easily, sample JSON. So you see, it is very, very easy to show the JSON file. See, the beautiful thing is, hobbies has multiple items, right? So hobbies has multiple items. You can say you can collapse hobbies because it is more than one item. Okay, you can collapse entire JSON content. Okay, so you can copy it simply. Just click on this. You will copy the JSON data. You can paste it anywhere. Okay, so you can copy just this name. You can copy just age. You can copy just email. You can copy all the hobbies, or you can copy reading hobby, or traveling hobby, coding hobby. So you can collapse just hobbies. You can collapse the entire JSON content. So this is how beautifully it can handle JSON file. And don't you think this is really useful? Don't you think this is really useful? Yeah, for me, it is really useful. Okay. Now we are going to write something little interesting. I don't know for how many people it's going to be interesting. So we are going to filter the data. User will give some input. Based on that, we'll filter the data. So we are going to take three columns: name column, age column, and city column. And we can filter the data based on age. Okay. Or you can filter the data based on anything, but let's just filter it with based on age. So we are going to do data filtering now. So let's use a library called pandas, data science library, to handle tabular data. Pandas as PD. Okay, right. So title, interactive data filtering, interactive data filtering. So right. So it is the title. So we are going to interact and filter the data. So I'll just, decrease the size of this page because it is too much of content. Okay, right. So we'll create a small data. So using pandas data frame. Okay, so here I'll take a name column with 3 names, or let's take 5 names. Okay, why just 3 names? Let's take 3 columns and 5 names. Okay, so Anil and Kumar, Chandu, Naveen, okay, and Prasad. So, this is one column. Second column is age column. So we are going to take ages. So, sir, why can't you help us to create our own portfolio, please? What do you mean by that? Building your own portfolio. What do you mean by that? Okay. So, right. See, building portfolio is not a big thing. You can easily build your portfolio, but how you build your portfolio is very important. Okay. So I'll talk about it in a minute, but let me finish this code. Okay. So let me finish this code. We have age, and also we'll take city. So 5 cities: Hyderabad, Delhi, Mumbai, again Hyderabad, and Chennai. Okay. So we have the simple data frame. Okay. It is a simple data frame, and actually it should be a dictionary. So I'm going to use a brace here. Okay, I'll end it with a brace. I'll end it with a brace. Check whether there is, does it end with comma? Yeah. Right. Now this is the data. If you want to see this data, let's assign it to a variable called data. And you can see this data very simply. So we use a function called data frame. Okay, and you can see this data on the screen. Okay, so there is some typing mistake somewhere. Yeah, this is the typing mistake. So you can see the data here very clearly. Okay, right. So what is the question? Building a portfolio. Yeah, that's true. Bracket error. So building a portfolio. So you can build your own portfolio, but this is a program specially built to enable you to learn some coding skills. Okay, this is enabled to learn some coding skills. Okay, right. That's the goal of this program. Right. So you can display the data using data frame function, or you can use write function also, because I told you write function is very, very, very versatile. Okay, so we are able to display using both the functions. I saved, using after write function also I saved. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a slider, and that slider will filter, slider, you can select the slide, right? That slider will filter the ages of the people. Okay, that ages of the people. So let's use the slider now to filter the ages. So we have ages from 35 to 40. Oh, sorry, 29 to 40. We have ages 29 to 40. So we will filter the ages using a slider. So I'll use slider. In the previous code, we saw slider, right? So if you can just recall, I spoke about slider. Okay, now we will use a slider, filter by age. Okay, right. Now then the minimum value on the slider is 20. The max value on the slider is, let's have 40. And by default, it will select a range of values between 20 and 35. So by default. So that is the slider. Okay, let's save this. You can see the minimum value is 20, the maximum value is 40. By default, the slider is between 20 and 35. Okay, let's change this default. By default, it will, select the range 25 to 35. 25 to 35. Now you can select like this. Okay, right. Now, so far, so good. So now I will assign it to a variable called age filter. Age filter variable. Okay, right. Now what we do is we'll take this data and we use this age filter to filter the data. Okay, so we'll take the data. Okay, and in that data, data has three columns. We take age column. Okay, we take age column. So that is age column. And if the age column is greater than or equal to age filter. Now we have age filter. Age filter 0. 0 means the first value. 1 means the last value. Okay. If it is greater than 0. Okay. And okay, data, the age filter. Okay. If it is less than or equal to age filter 1. That means the second value. The first value is 25. The second value is 35. 1. Okay. Then, so this is one filter. Okay. The data will be filtered accordingly. Okay. So we'll assign it to a variable called filtered data. Filtered data. filtered data. Okay, now we'll put the filtered data in the bottom. Okay, let's see that. So we'll write, so filtered data. Okay, and we are going to use the data frame, so which is filtered data. Okay, now let's see that. If there is any spelling mistake, we can set it right. So you see, we select ages between 25 to 35. Okay, I'll change one age. So instead of 29, we'll have it as 20. Okay, right. So you see, when you select 25 to 35, so you see those ages which are below 35 and above 35, 25 and above 35 are missing. So Navin is missing and Prasad are missing. Navin and Prasad are missing. But if you move this side to this side, so if you want to display ages between 20 and 35, so you see Navin is missing because he's above 35. Okay, but if you move it this side, if you want to only display ages between 20 and 30, so between 20 and 30, there are only two people, Kumar and Prasad. So you can see Kumar and Prasad. See how beautifully we are able to slide this. And do you want all these programs, guys? Do you want all these programs? I know you all want these programs. You are, you are waiting to, use these programs, right? Okay. So I have a lot of applications, but all the applications are hidden. Others cannot see those applications. So what I do is, uh, I use my personal page, and from there I'll share one repository where you can find your code, the code that I've discussed. Okay, the code that I've discussed. So it's GitHub. So there are a lot of code that is hidden. Okay, so we hide the code. There are some techniques to hide the code. So I'm not going to discuss all the techniques because somebody was asking about portfolio. So, this will come under portfolio. Okay. So, right. So I will just share that link with you. You have all the code that we have discussed today. All the code that we have discussed today. Okay. So, right. Keep that in mind. Okay. Right. So, whatever I have discussed in this class and what I will discuss in the upcoming 18 to 19 classes, that is only 2 to 5% of what I actually teach. Okay. What I actually teach. Okay. That's number one. Number two, we have a program. There will make you professionals. We'll teach you how to plan a project, a application, a system as an experienced person, as if you have 10 years of experience. 10 years of experience, 10 years of struggle, we can transfer it to you in a span of 3 to 4 months. Okay. So we have such powerful programs. So if you take such programs, 3 to 4 months, if you take those programs, we teach simple coding, but along with that, we teach those skills that will make you stand out among your peers. Not just among your peers, you will stand out in the market. Okay. So somebody was talking about portfolio. That's very simple. You will be visible to the recruiters easily. Okay. So I shared the link, go through the link and, get all the programs I've discussed. There are plenty of programs. We have hid all the programs. Okay. We don't share all the programs because, in this section, the section that I'm teaching right now, we have around 430 programs. 430. So far, do you know how many programs I discussed with you? Just 17 programs. From yesterday, I discussed with you 17 programs. I shared that 17 programs. But we have 430 programs with us. 430 programs on just this topic. Okay. So apart from that, we teach a lot of other skills and you will stand out in the market like anyone. Nobody can compete with you. Once you go through this program, myself, I have close to 20 years of experience in IT. Okay, 20 years of experience. I'll give my experience to you just like that in few months. Okay,